Welcome back to today's economic news, where we peel back the layers of complexity surrounding the major financial and political movements of the day. I'm John, your host, and today we're diving into a brewing storm in international waters: the United States' recent seizure of a Venezuelan oil tanker. This isn't just a story about oil, it's a saga of geopolitical tension, economic interests, and the perennial battle over resources in the shadows of international relations. You may ask, why should you care about this? Let's face it, in the grand scheme of things, it's not just the oil itself, but what the seas represents. It's a power play that could have profound repercussions, not just for the economies involved, but for the principles of fairness and stability in international trade. At its heart, this is a tale of two nations locked in a high-stakes standoff, with implications reaching far beyond the choppy waters of the Caribbean Sea. Before we delve into today's developments, let's take a moment to trace back to the origins of this conflict. Remember the consequences of Hugo Chávez's leadership? His death in 2013 marked the beginning of intensified scrutiny from the U.S., propelling a suite of sanctions targeting Venezuela for a medley of alleged offenses, chief among them human rights violations and dubious connections with entities like Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Fast forward to the years of the Trump administration, and the stance hardened into a more aggressive approach aimed at the so-called rogue states. A strategy unfolded that not only sought regime change, but aimed to choke off any perceived threats linked to terrorism and drug trafficking. Oil, a commodity entangled within these intricacies, became a pawn in the battle to neutralize the Maduro administration, believed by many to contribute to narcotics and terrorism, fattened by the oil's lucrative returns. Now, let's shine a light on the concrete facts of today's happenings. On December 10, 2025, the U.S. seized the skipper, a Venezuelan oil tanker, claiming an estimated 1.8 million barrels of crude oil. But here's the kicker. It's not just barrels. It's a trove value between $60 million and an eye-watering $100 million. Imagine your household running on a similar razor's edge, balancing tens of thousands of dollars with every decision. Translation: every bit of this oil represents significant lost revenue for Venezuela, money that could have been crucial in propping up its floundering economy, a lifeline amidst the sanctions that grip the nation. So the $1 million, or rather $100 million question arises. What does the average American gain from this financial ruse? Little more than inflated moral posturing, according to critics, who see a mere masquerade of justice. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt asserted the vessel will go to a U.S. port, and the United States does intend to seize the oil. However, there is a legal process for the seizure of that oil, and that legal process will be followed. A process that sounds tedious and labyrinthine, like bureaucratic gymnastics designed to obscure more than to clarify. Does anyone really see this as a victory? Friends, this is where the libertarian viewpoint takes center stage. Let's tear away the veneer here. The U.S. government's aggressive maneuvers always come with a price tag: spiraling foreign policy costs that trickle down to increased taxes, enlarge the national debt, and stealthily erode your purchasing power. It is theft from your wallets under the disguise of protecting national interests. And what about governance? The administration's failure to navigate international tides without military might lays bare a disconcerting inability to handle our own affairs. Relying on force when diplomacy falters doesn't resolve Venezuela's turmoil, nor mends the fractured international trust. Lastly, do we not stand for liberty? Yet here is another instance of us trampling sovereign rights, forcing change through coercion, rather than consensus. Our actions demand reflection if we are to preserve the very freedoms we hold dear at home and project abroad. So there you have it, a gloomy tale of seized oil that highlights a broader unwarranted intervention. If you're as fed up with footing the bill for reckless adventures as we are, hit that subscribe button. Let's keep seeking the truth. As I sign off, until next time on today's economic news, stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay critical.